don't have a horrible story.
Even my dog doesn't like it.
Yes, of course you did. You've known him for a month. Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Charlotte and it's autumn! It's October, so it's definitely autumn no matter where you live. I mean, if you live on this side of the equator. I mean, it's still, no it's not. It's spring for some of you, maybe. It's autumn where I live, okay? It's sweater weather, leaves are changing, all of that fun stuff, you know? So I figured, what's better to do than read a book? We're not going to read all of them, naturally, because I can't do that in a video. I'm not that quick of a reader. But I figured we were going to start with this one. There's Pumpkin About You. Part of the reason that I wanted to start this one is because I have heard, and I might be wrong, so don't quote me on it, but I have heard that the MMC is autistic. And I love a good book, that like a book with good representation. Hopefully it's good representation. Hopefully it's not bad representation, but we'll figure it out. I am going to start with Pumpkin About You in this full reading vlog. And then maybe, oh, do you guys want to see something that's very sad? Look, it's ruined. It's literally falling apart. But anywho, so this one might not be the one that I read first, but like I said, I'm going to read this one first. And I do also really want to read this one. Look how cute that is. It's so pretty. I've also heard great stuff about this series. I don't know if this is a series. Oh my god, I can feel it. Look at the flop. It's a floppy book. I don't know if this is a series. I've heard this is a series. Are they falling in love over coffee? Love is brewing in Cozy Creek, where falling leaves lead to falling in love. Oh, okay, Autumn. Her name is actually Autumn as well. Nice to know. And as normal, you know, people watching, this is on my October TBR as well, so I am gonna read it. Like I am gonna read it. Maybe we'll read these three. Maybe we'll do these three. Who knows? People watching, Hannah Bohm Young. Don't know much about this one either. I just know that I really wanted to read it, and I haven't read anything by any of these authors, so they're all new to me authors as well. Start with this one, okay? Prudence Wells has found solace in her introverted small town life. Despite once dreaming of something different, she now finds contentment in her routine, working, writing, and caring for her mother, who has early onset Alzheimer's. But as her mother's condition worsens, Prue feels her world slipping further out of control. Enter Milo, an enigmatic wanderer whose beat up van covered with ill-advised bumper stickers roll into town just when Prue needs a change. And then we have There's a Pumpkin About You, and this one is one determined party planner plus one grumpy pumpkin farmer. A fall to remember. Given the chance to plan her bestie's 30th birthday party, Wren Southwick is determined to create an experience so big and so bold that the name of her party planning business spreads beyond the confine of her own small town. The key to her plan, the Finch family gold leaf pumpkin farm, that's a mouthful. It's not just the perfect venue, but also the perfect supply partner for her autumnal themed party. But to get what she wants and needs, she'll have to get gorgeous grouch August Finch on board. The table is set and the battle is about to begin. Who will fall first? I love that. And then we have Fall I Want. Fall I Want is a feel-good, spicy, small-town romance comedy with a billionaire who falls first and harder. Grab a pumpkin spice latte, a warm fuzzy blanket, and make your way down to Cozy Creek. I don't like pumpkin spice lattes. Maybe I should try one again. No. No. Yeah. No. The broken-hearted billionaire visits his Cozy Creek to escape. I never expected to become his fake girlfriend or fall madly in love, but here we are. My first impression of Sane Alexander isn't great. The second one is worse, but when he uses his powers of persuasion to get me to hang out with him, I can't say no. We quickly go from familiar strangers to flirty friends. When my ex returns, Sane flawlessly pretends to be my boyfriend to protect me. He is so damn good at it. I almost believed it. I don't know when a relationship moved from pretending to passionate, but I catch feeling. As our exes, both of them, as our exes to partly crawl back into our lives like zombies. No, As our exes desperately crawl back into our lives like zombies, I realize there's only one man for me, and all I want is him. Everything changed the moment I see her. Autumn's changing gaze makes my heart race, so I push her away to protect myself. Classic billionaire. Classic billionaire. They're like, oh no, oh my god, I want you. No, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. No. Immediately, I regret it. When I find her standing in my haunted house, I convince her to be my friend. Wait, he lives in a haunted house? And why is she in it? Did he kidnap her? Because I'm okay with that. She begrudgingly agrees. As the leaves transform and Cozy Creek fall festivities come alive, a playful charge blossom into something more. The lines between real and pretend begin to blur, and I find myself falling under her spell. I should keep my broken heart in check, but instead I fight for love that feels like magic. This woman is all I've ever needed, and all I want. I think these are three. Well, I mean, I said I wasn't going to decide, but I already decided I'm going to read it. I'm going to read these three. But we're going to start with There's Pumpkin About You. Is there spice in it? I don't know. I don't really care. I want a cute story. I just want to get wrapped up in everything this book has to offer, that this book has to offer, and that this book has to offer. Why? Because I can. I'm going to make hot cocoa and put a shit ton of cream in it. But first we're going to read.
Okay, two things. First of all, don't know what I'll think about the writing to start out with. I've read 19 pages, so I can't really comment on it. But there's a goat in this story, and the goat's name is Emilio. And Emilio is the name of my dog, who sadly passed away this summer. So it makes me kind of happy, but it also makes me kind of sad. I mean, we do have Lewis now, and I love Lewis more than anything. But Emilio was the light of my life. I'm not ashamed to say that. When I was sadly going through it, he was the reason I got out of bed in the morning, and he was the reason why I kept on pushing, because he needed me. So I miss him. I miss him a lot. But yeah, the writing is, I mean, I said I didn't say anything about the writing, but I can say, I have been giggling a little bit, you know, like here. I always is impossible to talk to, she demands. I'm autistic. I'm told it's in my nature. Being autistic doesn't mean you're automatically impossible to talk to. Well, then I suppose it's just my charming personality. I found that to be a little bit funny. I have decided I find the writing to be very funny. I changed my mind. I am literally on page 20. And I decided that I do like the writing. I do like it. I do. Okay, this is not a spoiler, it's just funny. Nice to meet you, Bash. My name is Ren. I'm a party planner over in Beckford. Oh, him you're nice to, I mutter. She turns to glare at me. He's not the one being rude after his goat bit my ass. A goat bit your ass? Bash questions. A goat bit my ass, she confirmed. It hasn't been proven that Emilio bit her ass, I interject. Emilio feels like he's carrying the story so far. I'm gonna read more than a page before I have something to say, I promise you. I just stayed on the sofa after work yesterday. I had a long ass shitty day at work. It wasn't shitty, it was actually a kind of a good day at work, but we had a lot to do. So I just stayed on the sofa when I got back home, and I finished my book. I'm finished. It's done. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I finished it. And this one is of the slower of burns. Like, they don't really do anything until more towards the end, which I didn't mind. I really enjoyed seeing them develop their relationship and seeing how he had a certain way that he had it in his head that he needed to do stuff. And she was kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna follow you because I don't wanna
ruin your routine. I thought it was very fun. Very, very fun. There's not a much. Dog is trying to eat stuff again. There is not much spice in it. There's like one spicy scene which you can easily skip over, like nothing of significance happened while they're getting freaky on a dining room table. My dog agrees. I think he wants to cuddle. But yeah, no, it was super, super fun. I gave it a 3.75. The reason it's not like a full-on 4-star is because I had a little bit of a harder time getting into the book. And even though the writing ended up being beautiful, I even cried at some point during this book, especially when Gus started talking about his mother and how different his mom and his dad made him feel. I shed a tear for Gus because, I mean, you don't have to be, like, you can be neurotypical and feel the feelings that he is feeling, but knowing that a lot of people put it on his autism, that he is feeling these feelings, it's just very sad. It's just very, very sad. But yeah, so I gave it a 3.75. I had so much fun. This is a fantastic book for fall. I do recommend it if you like silly, goofy, books that make you laugh and giggle and just have a wee old time. So there's Pumpkin About You, definitely. Oh, also, this is a standalone. There's no more books in the series, but there are other couples in here that I would actually love to see a book by. So here's hoping that she decides to write more. And then I did what any normal person would do. I just went on straight on to the next one. And this one I have been so excited to read because I've heard so many people rave about Hannah Bonham Young. I checked Goodreads and I checked Fable, and everybody's favorite book by her is Out on a Limb. So if I enjoy this one, I am definitely going to be reading that one. So far, Milo has had me giggling. Milo has had me he's just a wee old time. He's kind of into himself, but not in a oh my god, get over yourself type of way. I mean, he just knows the effect he has on people, and he's using that for his advantage. And Prue, I feel like she's kind of stuck in her little bubble right now, because when you meet Prue, you also meet her home situation. And like it says on the back, her mom has early onset Alzheimer's. So in completely different stages of their life. 1 down, 2 to go. I am excited though. This is very fun. If you can hear my dog playing, you're welcome. He's having the time of his life. I am going through this one. People watching. I've read about 120 pages, so a third of the way, I would want to say. And even though the storyline is kind of the same through all of these books, because, they don't know each other from before, this one feels, in a weird way, like the pacing is a little bit slower than in the other one, but it also feels like the spice is going to show up earlier than in the other one, which is a weird combination. I mean, I read 120 pages, and so far there's been a crisis, that was handled. They have gotten to know each other a little bit and kind of been testing each other in a weird way. I mean, not much has happened because, they met like 48 hours ago, it feels like, maybe a week. But it still feels like this one, when shit happens, it's gonna go kind of rapidly, which is completely fine. I do not mind it. It's just weird that the storyline feels kind of the same, Boy meets girl, girl meets boy as well, obviously, and they get to know each other and they banter, they don't necessarily argue, but they banter and they have like this chemistry. And in some books, the chemistry just keeps on going. And in some books, the chemistry leads straight into the bedroom. I don't know if that's where this is going. They haven't done much yet. But it feels like that's where this one is going. And I don't really mind. Because, I don't want to read the same book twice. Then I would just read the other one. But I did enjoy the other one more. And I think maybe I enjoyed the other one more just because it felt a little bit more different. Like, There's Pumpkin About You felt a little bit more different because you had the aspect of the MMC having autism. So it gave it an extra layer, for lacking of better wording. He thrives on routine, you know, he likes doing things in his way, which isn't a bad thing. It isn't a bad thing at all. But in this one, you know, the only thing Milo kind of wants is for time to pass so he can leave. And the only thing Prue wants is to not leave. I feel a conflict coming there as well. But yeah, no, I am reading it. I am having an okay time so far. Like I said, I did like There's Pumpkin About You more than I enjoyed this one. Milo is super, super funny, but you know, childhood trauma. At least you're funny. And Prue, I wouldn't say Prue is like depressed or anything like that, but Prue has something heavy hanging over her, right? Because her mom is sick. It's not an easy thing when somebody you care about is sick. So it's an interesting concept. I'm gonna keep on reading. Well, I'm gonna make dinner right now. I went to the dentist and I can't feel my face. I won't be making dinner for me, but I'll make dinner for everybody else.
This is fun. I am enjoying it, but I do not like it when they refer to her female parts as a vulva, or as we would say it in Norwegian, vulva. I don't like that. I mean, I rather it would just say vagina, but I get it. You need to change the word sometimes. Even my dog doesn't like it. No, I am enjoying it. I am on page 175, so I am getting through it. I'm not going to finish it today, but I am going to finish it tomorrow. But okay, back to reading.
Okay, hear me out. I finished People Watching. There's two reasons to why I didn't film anything between the last one and this one. One of them is that I had to go to the dentist and I had to have a root canal, so that wasn't fun, but it was okay. I mean, I've heard horrible stories. I don't have a horrible story. But anywho, there was also so much happening in this book that I felt like if I were talking about it or if I was mentioning it, it would feel a little bit like a spoiler, and I don't want to spoil anything. Because this book gets way heavier than I first thought it was going to. So it hits very different from the other one. If you're looking for a fun, it's not silly, but you know, fun, goofy, silly, not FMC, fun, goofy, silly, MMC, and for lack of a better word, a little bit more of an uptight FMC. And you know, the way they combine, he helps her become more mellow. She helps him become more grounded. I mean, it's perfect. In that sense, it is, because they are tackling real life things in a more serious way. But I don't know. It wasn't fully for me. The writing was great. There's actually nothing to say about the storyline per se. I just wanted a fun, silly, goofy full book. And this one felt a little bit more on the heavier side. But it's maybe my fault that I didn't do research beforehand. But I gave it a 3.5. I do recommend it. Her writing is beautiful. She has a fantastic way of describing her characters. She has an amazing way of making you, in a weird way, kind of connect to the characters as well. So it's a fantastic book. Do not get me wrong. It was just not exactly what I needed at this time. So 3.5. Yes. And because, you know, we're going to read a third one. We're going to read this one. Yes. This is Fall I Want. This is by Lyra Paris. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I am so sorry. I probably butchered your first and your last name. But yeah, this one is about autumn and it is about Sane. I've already read 11 chapters. I'm about to start chapter 12. This one feels more silly, goofy, folly. The trope is fake dating, and I love fake dating. Fake dating might actually be one of my favorite tropes. So I'm already set. It feels like they're trying to do a concept that might not have been done that much, at least in the books that I've read, like in the way they both kind of know of each other, but they don't know each other. It feels a little bit far-fetched, but it's a book, so I mean, it is fine. Also, his name is Zane Alexander, and for the first few chapters, she thinks that his first name is Alexander, so the chapters are actually called Alexander, and then all of a sudden they change to Zane when she figures out what his first name is. So just a funny little detail that I noticed. Also, the way this book, look, it literally, it goes around. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Those are the notes I have as of right now. I don't really know what to say and how to say it. Oh yeah, Autumn, she wants to do something, but she can't really do it because of her own mental blocks. He has a shit ton of money, and he keeps on weirdly kind of throwing it around, but in a nice way. And it feels like it's gonna hit a lot of the cliches. So maybe if you're not into that, don't read it. But then again, I feel like if you're reading a fake dating one with a billionaire, you already kind of know that the cliches are coming. What do I know? We're going to read this. Well, we're not going to read it right now. Oh yeah, we're going to read a little bit. I do have time before I have to go to work. I'm very excited about that. I am actually excited about going to work. Yes, oui. My dog is sleeping. It's time to go to work. Okay, so I am just sitting here in my humble little corner reading, and so far I enjoy it. I feel like both of them, in a weird way, they're not very deep characters. Like, the things you know about them, you know, and it gets kind of beaten around. You know, she has an ex that she doesn't enjoy. The ex keeps popping up. You know that he has an ex he doesn't enjoy. You know that ex is going to keep on popping up. Kind of relevant to the story. I get it. But it is very focused around them. It is fake dating, but it is kind of focused around them being friends, but fake dating, but everyone around them is like, you guys are going to end up together. And both of them being like, oh yeah, maybe, I don't know. Let's see. But anywho, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is that in chapter 20, I just read chapter 20, they go to a restaurant. Is the restaurant at the resort that Zane Alexander owns? Yes, it is. It is. Does the hostess know who he is? No, she doesn't. And this is supposed to be like a super handsome man, to the point where like he is very well known, but the FMC didn't know who he was. And even though the hostess works for his resort, like we had someone from leadership come into the store the other day, and I asked them if they needed help, and they just laughed a little bit and said, no, it's fine. And I was like, oh yeah, fuck, you're from leadership. You know? So they make a point out of him being in the tabloids, but the FMC not knowing who he is. But when he comes to the reservation bit of it, and she doesn't know who he is, and he feels like, Zane feels like Autumn is being ignored, and Autumn feels like she is being ignored. He gets very snappy, and he actually gets very rude. And he at some point goes, she should be happy I didn't fire her on the spot. Like, she was rude to you, she should be happy that I didn't fire her on the spot. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, I don't know if fired, because I didn't look at owner's girlfriend, fake girlfriend, is liable, you know, as a reason to get fired. What do I know? If you have money, you can probably fire people for less. It doesn't feel like a reason to be a shithead. Okay, so I finished all of the books. I finished all of them. I've already talked about this one. I'm not going to talk that much about it right now, but I do want to talk a little bit more about this one because after I've done like my wrap up of this one and I was done and I was finished and blah 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 blah, I kept on thinking about it and not in a oh my god, I can't believe I read this book, it's so fantastic, I can't stop thinking about it way, in a what the fuck did I just read kind of way. I realized that I don't really like it. Like I like it, I like the start of it, but then it just goes downhill at some point. I think I can kind of pinpoint it as well, but I don't really want to spoil anything. But the main thing that's not a spoiler is that Milo, he's very clear from the get-go that he is a free spirit. He doesn't want to be in a relationship, he doesn't want to stay in one place for too long. And then he meets Prue and it feels kind of insta-lovey. And all of a sudden, there's nothing he wants more than stay put, which is fair. I mean, you can find something that makes some place feel like home, if it's a house, if it's people, if it's whatever. But it just felt very weird. Like, he's the one that's very, very on that this is just casual side of it. And still, he's the one that's kind of waiting on being able to tell her how he feels. You don't get to go deep into his family troubles, which I feel like you should get a little bit more of it because it is kind of mentioned. And the fact that she's going through what she's going through, it felt like it was very there in the start of the book. What she was going through, what her family was going through. Then it kind of just went away and then it showed back up again because it was like, oh yeah, shit, we kind of need to wrap this up. They don't feel like a couple that will last forever and ever and ever. Like, I feel like if we get a book 10 years down the road, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, stay together. But I mean, we all know of at least a couple where everybody's like, yeah, no, they're too different. They don't work, and they work perfectly. Like, it's seamless. So what do I know? But yeah, I decided that this is a 3-star. It's not higher. So I did rank it down a little bit. But when I was done with that book, I was so ready to go into Cozy Creek and just get lost in whatever the fuck this is. I enjoyed the first few chapters. I enjoyed that he was kind of standoffish and that it was, I don't know, kind of his personality was kind of his way to protect himself. But the plot kind of never took off. There's no plot. There's no plot at all in this book. It never shows up. It's stuck behind a red light somewhere. I don't know what happened, but when I talked with you guys last, he was mean to a hostess, and after that, I just felt like he was mean to the service workers he met everywhere, but it was for a good cause. Like, they're in Vegas and she really wants to see the water show, but they arrived too late. It's not going on anymore. And he pushes and pulls and uses his name to get the water show to go off at 3 a.m. And she is, oh my God, oh my God. I would be mortified. Like, people are sleeping. I know it's Sin City, but there's still someone sleeping at 3 a.m. It's and he's like, oh yeah, I use my powers for good. And like, good for who? Good for you, yes, because you can do whatever the fuck you want, but not good for anybody else. Like, the only good thing he does is that he pays for people's coffee sometimes. And after that, it was just so weird. It's the storyline, it just went off the rails. It didn't make sense at all. At some point, something happens, and he even points out that they don't know each other that well, but fuck it. And she's like, yeah, fuck it. And then the next day, she's like, oh, I learned something new about you. Yes, of course you did. You've known him for a month. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I was so close to just not finishing it because I didn't like it. I had such high hopes for it. Such high hopes. Because I've seen people think that this is a fantastic book and they think that Saint Alexander is Dream Man, but I have a feeling that the people that really want this one to be their dream man also really want Christian Grey to be their dream man. And I'm sorry to say, Christian Grey isn't my type of man, okay? I don't like people that are manipulative. Sorry, it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing, but I did finish it. The only thing I didn't read is that in the back of this, there is can't get enough of Autumn and Sane. Turn the page for exclusive extra cozy bonus scene, Snow Day. And I didn't read it because I didn't care. I didn't care. I know there's more books in this series. I know that the books are written by different authors because that had me a little bit confused to start off. There was a couple I kind of wanted to read their story, but I am having a hard time figuring out what book. I didn't do that much research. I probably would figure it out if I did some research, but I looked at the next book on Goodreads and it didn't say who the couple was, and I was like, fuck it. I don't really care. I don't really care. So yeah, that was my reading experience over the last few weeks. How was yours? I'm just gonna say, if you want a cozy, fun fall read that gives you the pumpkin vibes, this is definitely not it. This might be it, but this will give you the pumpkin vibes. I love this one compared to the other two. Like this one's my favorite out of all of them. This one, I think, is one of the books that I actually could reread next year because it was just cozy and it was just fun and I loved it. Yes. Okay, that was it. That was it for this reading vlog. Have you read any of these? Did you like them? Did you enjoy them? Please tell me in the comments. Do you want to read any of them? And just so we're clear, if this is your favorite book, if you adore them, I love that for you. I've read them because I wanted to adore them as well. But we all can't like the same stuff. Sadly. Well, not sadly, because the world would be kind of boring if we all just collectively agreed on everything. If these are your favorite books, I am so happy for you. If you read more in this series, please tell me if any of them are worth reading or if they're all kind of just love bombing, because then I'm done with that. I'm done. Thank you guys so much for spending some of your precious time with me. I really do appreciate it. And if you have any books you want to see a reading vlog on, please tell me, I'm happy to read it. If it's fantasy, I don't do horror, but I could dabble in some thriller if it's not too scary. Romance, historical fiction. I'll try everything at least once. And hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.